Hey everybody, DuCo Loco here. That stands for Duplin County Locomotives. All right, I've been pretty busy the past week and a half since the last update. Just want to share a few things with you. First off, the yard is fully functional now. All the switch machines are in, and it is working great. I got all the feeders on it. I still have a little more painting to do, mainly to the turnouts. I've got them in, and I've got my temporary control panel made up. I'm not exactly sure if I like that layout or not. First off, these are my crossovers. I mean, that's from the outside to in, and then from inside to out. That's kind of self-explanatory there. And then I've got the yard switches here. Press this button, opens the yard up, sends everything into the yard, but only to track 4. Then if you any other track you want after you press this, you can go to 3, 2, or 1 after you press this. And then to clear the main, you press this button, and that opens up the main switches on both ends. I mean, every time you press one of these buttons, it opens up the switches on each end. When you press this one, it opens every switch to bring you in to track 4. Over here, Walters makes a little small engine facility, a little maintenance shed type thing. This is not it. This is a cardboard rendition of it. Just playing around, trying to get my brain in gear on what I want to do here. I've got my turnouts in, got some scrap track. It is functional scrap track, except for that outside part there. That was something that was added on. A buddy of mine, he mentioned about putting something out there. I think I'm gonna do something similar to that. But anyways, that's gonna be my maintenance facility. Let me come on down here to. Oh yeah, here, wait a minute. Before we get all the way down there, let me show you this. I've got the fascia up all the way around. I had to go ahead and put that up because I had a couple of my hoppers did the big old swan dive. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. But anyways, I got that done, the fascia done. It's going to get painted, and it will be painted gray like the rest of my cabinets. Another thing here is the truck stop in Warsaw. Those are the dimensions of the Walters modern gas station. I took me some cardboard and made me up some mock-ups so I can get all my dimensions right. That's the size of the canopy. Then I want to do a 3 fuel island truck stop bay. Yeah, so the trucks are going to come in here. You know, we drove the RC trucks here, and it'll come in, circle around behind the building, and come into the fuel islands. And then when it gets fuel, it could just go on back out. And there will be a crossing here. Probably going to put a few residential houses on either side of this crossing. This is going to be a little wooded area because I don't want to see no more of the train than I have to. This corner here is also going to be wooded because I don't want to see this train until it gets here, and then you'll be able to see it right on and around until it gets over here to the feed mill. That's all the scrap track I have left, and those are some old brass switches. I'm not going to use these, but I'm using it as reference right now because I think what I'm going to do is when I come off the main here, come in, I'll be able to go through the mill, then come on through, and then it will tie into that turnout there. So I'll be able to do my shoving operations in here, and I will have 4 long tracks back to there, be able to hold about 6 cars on each track, which is actually a little more storage than I had when it was on the other side of the layout. Let's see, yeah, I haven't set the feed mill in place yet. So I'm waiting on some track to come. Buddy of mine, he 3D printed this grain elevator or grain bin, and he had there's a little flaw in it, so he didn't want to use it. But I could patch that up enough to make it work. This is the only place I have to put it. The track is going to actually come, you know, in between it there, because when they build these feed mills, they build them and then they say, well, you know what, I ain't got enough grain storage, so they put bins wherever they have places to put them, so it won't look out of place there. Moving along, we're going to come right here, and well, there ain't no train coming through, but that is the roof off the warehouse. It actually somehow or another got flipped over, and it's kind of shiny on this side. But what it did was, I was sitting in the shop one day, and when the train come by, it reflects off of it just like if it was water. And I was like, wow, that's cool. It's like a reflecting pond. So I've been wanting to put in a mill pond here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in my mill pond, and I'm gonna take the road bed up, and I've got some old trestles that I built for another project that I didn't ever use, and I'm just gonna make a few trestles across there with a mill pond. It won't be very big, but it'll be enough to where I can get a little bit of shine off of it, to where I could see the, you know, like a reflecting pool when the train goes by. I thought that was pretty cool. The next thing here is Wallace. Still haven't done much to it, just got the buildings basically framed up just so I can get it in my head what I want to do. Got the propane facility. I've got 2 more racks I've got to build, and there'll be another switch here with 2 tracks when I'm done with it. This switch here is going to be hand throwed. As far as most of the feed mill, I think is going to be hand thrown for the time being. I do have it figured out how to, well, I say I do. I've just got to sit down and think about how to get these switches here to throw. So when I mash one button, it flips the one, and then it flips 2 of them at a time, or 1 of them at a time. Because the way this Pico switch works, they're all tied in right side by side instead of being staggered. Another thing I've worked on is right here on the original, I had these corners. I'm doing away with these corners. I got the fascia up, so it's making a smooth corner here. And when I get done with it, it'll look like this, where I have filled this in. I got that filled in. I still got to fill this in. But what I was thinking about doing is this big gap right here. I'm thinking about cutting it out some more and just making it a ditch and putting in a culvert here and a ditch with hedges on either side of it. And yeah, I got this big canal here where I got to fill in there in the yard, or in the parking lot. Let's see. Anything else going on this week? I reckon that's about it. I'm working hard, y'all. Doing the best I can with it. I don't know exactly where I'm going. Got a pretty good idea. And I sure don't know what I'm doing, but I'm learning as I go. And I'd like for you to join me on this journey, because I'm having a lot of fun. I declare this is fun. All right, here, let's watch these 2 right quick. Watch this. There you go. Hey, and this is the first time I've had all 3 of these protos consisted together, and they run like they were meant to be together. And I really didn't have to do a whole lot of programming to get them to work right, and they are just smooth as butter. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this update. I hope you hung around this long for the 3 or 4 people that did. I'm working hard. So see you next time, and we're going to try to make these updates a little closer together so they're not a month and a half apart. So getting real excited. All right, y'all have a good one. I hope you enjoyed it, because I sure did. All right, bye-bye.